President Trump promised to end the war in 24 hours. That was a promise that was never really intended to be taken literally. And we are now seeing how difficult it is to make even the least significant of advances in these negotiations. And I think the reason for these difficulties is something that might not be fully appreciated by the administration, namely that there is a massive gap between what Russia perceives its interest to be and what the United States perceive their interest to be in Ukraine, and bridging that gap is not going to be easy. And on the Russian side, it would really require giving up on some of its maximalist war aims, which do not really accept the possibility of anything short of Ukraine's capitulation and essentially regime change and a granting of veto to Russia over Ukraine's politics in the future. So we saw these efforts at small partial ceasefires, energy infrastructure ceasefire, and a ceasefire in the Black Sea. And what I found striking about both of these is that basically Ukrainians more or less unconditionally said yes to the US administration, whereas the Russians used both opportunities to extract concessions. And with the Black Sea ceasefire, the condition announced by the Russians and supposedly agreed to by the Americans involves essentially allowing for exports of fertilizer and grains from Russia, and with the lifting of sanctions on banks financing such commerce, which would be an unprecedented return of Russia to the global financial markets. I'm not sure it's warranted, but we have to, I suppose, wait and see whether either of those two ceasefires is indeed implemented.